Hello everyone, here's my first screencast for American history and culture. In regards to race, I would say that the readings thus far have served the purpose of shaking prior conceptions. From the terms white to slavery, these essays aim to force us to face the fact that these terms do not have simple definitions, but are instead molded by years of history, as well as years of use by different people, generations, and cultures. Through facing this non-solidarity of semantics, we can understand the non-solidarity of people through American history. There is not just white versus black, gay versus straight, or man versus woman. There are people with complex identities, all fighting for their own agency through different cultural periods. To begin, I would like to first examine a photograph taken by Ansel Adams. It is titled The Tetons and the Snake River. Adams is often praised for his ability to capture the immense majesty of nature through his beautiful use of light. As we see here in this photograph, we can see the light on the left nearly waging war with the darkness on the right. It is difficult not to draw religious connections in the photo, with God on the left fighting the darkness on the right. It is this story of religious good versus evil that seems to frame much of American history. From slavery to westward expansion to many wars, we see the good guys fighting the bad guys. It is this religious framing of history that I would like to focus on in the screencast. It is a topic that has been brought up in nearly every essay we've read thus far, and I feel is an important topic in terms of race up to the 1960s. I would go as far as saying that it is a driving force in many cases in terms of equality in American history. As stated by Walter Johnson in his essay Slavery, it is the redefinition of the antithesis of slavery from redemption, as per the Christian faith, to freedom, as per the American ideal, that has served as an impetus for change. We further see religion playing a role in this change through the work of Phyllis Wheatley. In her essay on being brought from Africa to America, the powerful line, "may be refined and join the angelic train," attempts to show that in the eyes of God, all races may be seen as equal. While this poem does still represent redemption as being the opposite of slavery, it does serve as a strong attempt to begin breaking down the barriers between the races as early as the 18th century. We again see this line of religion in the 1960s civil rights movement. With the power of religious followings in the Baptist churches in Alabama, the leadership of Martin Luther King, Fred Shuttlesworth, and Ralph Abernathy are able to gain footing. This wouldn't have been possible in the political sphere, as stated by Martin Luther King. Much like the work of Wheatley, the ability of Martin Luther King Jr. to perform his activism in such a quote-unquote godly way served to align himself with the moral framework of this country and attempt to further break down the boundaries that Wheatley also pushed against. I would like to close this screencast with another image taken by Ansel Adams. In this image, we see the Catholic Church being attended by Japanese citizens living under internment in the 1940s. This photo clearly connects to the essay read this week entitled Diaspora. This essay detailed the many ways in which cultural movement has been defined throughout history. From Jewish people to the slave movement, we see cultures being forced and unforced movement across the world. It is interesting, though, that the antonym of diaspora is containment. And as we can see here, these people are being contained by their own government. Despite their diaspora to this country, despite their spread of a culture and ideals, we see an entire culture being boxed in and separated. I think it is important to see that despite the great strength of religion in the fight for individual rights, it does not mean a cure for all things. These people are praying to the same God as the people living beyond their camp, just across these mountains, but they are by no means being seen as equal in this time. I am interested to see whether or not religion continues to be a perspective by which race can be studied, and I hope you found this screencast interesting. Thank you.